The free application for federal student aid, more commonly known as the FAFSA, opens on October 1st. So many students get so overwhelmed just thinking about the FAFSA that they tend to put it off and try to avoid it, but it's really not as bad as you might think. If you're curious about the ins and outs of the FAFSA and just how that whole process works, keep watching for some key takeaways. Hey there, my name is Carly, and this channel is for college-bound high school students who want support and advice around all things college admissions. The number one piece I have to tell you about the FAFSA that a lot of people don't know is that you can actually get started before it even opens. You'll first need an FSA ID, which is how you confirm your identity throughout the process. It can take a little bit of time after you create it before you can use it, so don't hesitate to make your FSA ID now. Both dependent students and their parents need their own unique FSA ID. Don't hesitate to file. It can literally pay to file early. It opens on October 1st every year, and the earlier you can submit it, the better, as long as all of your paperwork is ready to go. Your funding could look completely different if you file in October of this year versus May of next year, so don't hesitate to file as soon as all of your paperwork is ready to go. Also, everyone should file. You may think your family earns too much to qualify for anything, but every year is different. The FAFSA is used for all different types of aid, and so it's worth filling it out just in case. Here's actually a recent example. Some colleges and universities dispersed their COVID relief money to students who had a FAFSA on file. Basically, that means that students who did not have a FAFSA on file were not eligible to receive any of the COVID relief money. Also, know what information that you're going to need. Students, you'll need your social security number, driver's license number or state ID, bank and investment statements, tax information, untaxed income documents, and the schools you're interested in attending. Parents will need tax information, untaxed income documents, bank statements, investment information, and net worth. But with all of that, it's important to know what to report and what not to report. The FAFSA does a pretty good job of explaining what you need to include, so you shouldn't be getting too confused with including something that you don't need to include. But just in case, retirement accounts, home equity, life insurance policies, and personal assets are not meant to be reported on the FAFSA. What the heck is prior? The FAFSA uses your tax information from the prior year, from the year that you are attending college. This means it's going to utilize the tax information from 2 years before the year you start. As an example, if you're going to be starting school in fall of 2021, you'll be filling out the FAFSA as early as October 2020, and they're going to be using the tax information from 2019. If your financial situation is drastically different from 2 years ago compared to now, you can explain the changes with documentation to the schools that you're applying to. You'll need to work with each school individually as you narrow down your choices. After you've completed the FAFSA, you'll receive a student aid report via email and/or snail mail, which includes all the responses that you just filled out and your EFC, which is your expected family contribution. This is your form summary, so if there are any errors, this is where you want to check it and make sure you can correct them. If you have any issues while you're filling out the FAFSA and can't get the question answered from your guidance counselor or anyone else, you can contact the Federal Student Aid Information Center, which is part of the Department of Education. In my experience, they've been really great with helping students and families fill out the FAFSA and answering questions as they go along. Overall, the FAFSA can seem scary, annoying, overwhelming, what have you, but it's fairly straightforward, especially if you have all your documents ready to go. If you have questions, don't forget to ask. You've got this. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.